Hello everyone and welcome back to another Universe Sandbox video, and today we are going to be doing part 3 finally for the Stephenson 218 system. So we did this a while before Christmas. We never did the third part because I had all the Christmas simulation and stuff to do. So with that all out the way now, we can finally return to finishing this system off. So let's just get a little recap of our system as well. So obviously star in the middle. And then on our planets list, I should say, we've got Korot 7b here, a very spiced up one there. Judging by its current appearance, we've got a Sulfur Gas Dwarf chilling here as well. Then we have the Sulfur Gas Dwarf as well, another one further out. That was a tidally locked one, if you remember that. If we just zoom in on it, all the way down here. So this is one of the ones you guys sent in. See, that was tidally locked. We had the obviously the orange face facing the star and the grey area facing away there, which is pretty cool. And then heading out. We had Epsilon Erdeni B over here. This is a cool looking one. I love the way that one looks. See, and we had this one had a bunch of moons around it as well. Kepler 22b. We had a moon as a moon as well there. And we also had some more default looking moons in there as well. Right, and then heading further out, we had Trantor over here. This world seems to go a little weird at the moment. Don't know what's going on here. It's just turned the snow off. That's the way it's supposed to look like. So yeah, we can see red city lights. Got some oceans on it, red clouds as well, and then yeah, white atmosphere with a purple surface on it. So that's a pretty cool looking one. And then heading out again, we definitely had a yeah, here was it. It's the brown dwarf over here as well. 50 Jupiters in mass here, and then we had 2 objects around here as well. So we had Bright 4, which isn't very bright anymore. That used to be a modded object, but it doesn't function anymore. And then we had another gas dwarf over here as well. So yeah, red dwarf. Red brown dwarf. God, that thing really messes me up. Right, and then over here we had an actual red dwarf, the smallest star, or one of the smallest stars ever discovered over here. And this had some objects around it as well. So we had our what even is this here? That thing looked really cool with its red atmosphere on it. So another sulfur gas dwarf here. This was the colder one, the different coloured one over here. And then all the way at the end, we had a custom iris just chilling on the far edges of the system here. But now we can move on to adding more stuff in. So I'm thinking asteroid belts. We'll do those to the end, but I do want to try and sneak in another few worlds in here somewhere. So let's go ahead and open up the menu. If it would open, of course. For some reason, it's always very slow when you open the game. Come on, open. Oh, that loading time. Oh, why you got to do that, game? Right, let's close that thing down. Right, open up the... I don't want to place Beetlejuice in. No way. There we go. Drag out. There you go. Thank you. Right, other worlds we could add in here. What are we thinking? Got some other brown dwarfs, possibly. Could use good old Ups and D, actually. That could be quite... That's quite a interesting one. I'm going to play Saturn. We haven't used this world in a while. I believe this one was tinted as well. So where am I thinking? Could try and place it around our could try placing it around our brown dwarf actually, but the only issue is if its mass is too close to the original mass of this one. If it say this one is 40 Jupiters in mass, that would mess up all the orbits of the other ones. So yeah, it may be a larger than the actual brown dwarf, but if it's got more mass, I'd have to probably also... I mean, we can give it a shot, but yeah, you can already see it's already not doing a completely circular orbit. I mean, if I place it here, for instance, I'm pretty sure as soon as I click play, yeah, it's going to create a binary, and I don't want that. Because this thing has got, 23 Jupiter masses. And this thing's only got 50. And that, even although it's about half the mass, it's still enough to start interfering with it. So, yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to mess with that. We're going to let that orbit the star as I would like it to. So, yeah, there we go. Right, actually, what I will do is I'll just put it a little further out than the red dwarf. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be too far or much further away. So, yeah, place it a little further out than our... Gasser red here. So let's place Ups and D there. Right, and then what I'm going to do with this, actually, speaking of spherical orbits, let's actually have a little, something a little different. Make it a little more eccentric. Why not? So let's go with something like that. So it does actually cross out to almost the red dwarf's area, but we can go a little further. Nah, I think I'll go back to about half. We can also rotate it if we would like to as well. So I'm thinking something like that. Maybe actually, what we could do is, yeah, I think maybe a little more, just a tad more. Something like that. Right, and then how are we looking? Actually, I will lower the orbit size a bit. So I'll have it crossing across the red dwarf's area like that. I don't want it interrupting with our red gasoline, so I do want it further out than that. Something like that, I'm thinking. Right, but if we go over to the planet itself here, it should be very dark. Yeah, it did have a blue tint on it. It does look pretty cool. We can move it to a closer point in its orbit, actually. So let's go ahead and do that, just so we can get some more light on it. But it may be dark anyway, because it is quite a... darkly coloured object. I don't think the light from the star will really, make too much difference. So, yeah, pretty darked out world. It does look awesome, though. This is a classic, this one. This is quite an old object. If we click play, it's already playing. So it's got 23 Jupiters. I think this thing's all realistically sized on the actual object as well. I'm not sure. That's obviously going to warm up a bit. We can see it actually gaining some temperature now. How far away are we? 6,000 years, about 700-ish AU. Okay. Alrighty. I mean, actually, no, that'll be different, though, varying on where it is, because it's got a more circular orbit. So it is roughly about, what was that? Around 500 AU then. Okay. So, yeah, there is Ups and D. We'll give you a blue trail colour, because you're one of the more further out objects. So you can see it's actually got no colours, no blue on it at all. It's all the surface, or it's all the tint on the planet that makes it look like that, which is pretty awesome. Okay. Now, heading back to the gas red, I do want to try and sneak in something around here again. I'm going to go over ring system. I'm thinking a little ring system. 2 to 4 radar, I mean, something like that. Oh, no, add the ring to that one, please. No, I need to select it first before I open the menu. It's so weird the way the menu works these days. Right, add to gas. There we go. Just a nice, simple ring system on it. There we are. Looking good. So that's got a cool ring system. So, yeah, red dwarf, or brown dwarf. That is in the colour red. Oh, God, that's going to forever keep messing me up. Right. Forever confused by it. Right, so where is our brown dwarf right now? Yeah, look at that. Right, so click play, and there you go. So orbits labels off. So imagine seeing that in the sky. See all the rings going around it as well. Check that out. Oh, yes. So there's our main star. That's obviously going to be sunset now. Sunset for the main star, and then we should be having a sunset for our secondary star. So there's the brown dwarf coming to sunset as well with its rings. Awesome stuff indeed there. There you go. And there it goes. Hey. Right, so let's go ahead and exit off our world now. Right, so back onto orbits and labels. Right, yeah, we can definitely sneak in something. So we have Bright 4, which is rocky. 1.9 masses of Earth. There. Was that mass? Or no, that's radius. Okay, so it's about one Earth in mass. And then this one is even less. Right, so yeah, we could probably sneak in a little dwarf planet or something, actually. So what are we thinking? Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over Mercury. I'm going to place the Mercury further out. Yep, that should be fine. Actually, no, never mind. Let me just quickly check. Okay, oh, there's plenty of room we can work with there. Yes, there's plenty of room. Okay, that's fine. Right, onto Mercury itself. Right, I want to check its orbit stuff out quickly. So I do want to make this one actually a little bit eccentric. So it goes 0.2. And we can give that a little play. Whoa, no way. Oh, that's a little too much. So something like that. So I want it to slide in and out. Okay. Give it a slide. Just a tad incline as well. Just a tiny little difference right there. Okay, and now onto the customization. It needs to be smaller because I am going for a dwarf planet sort of look. So I'm going to half it. That should be... How large is that in kilometers? Let's see here. Kilometers. Okay, so that's roughly Pluto size then. About 1,200. Okay. I think Pluto's 1193, isn't it? Hang on, what is Pluto? Have I got my knowledge correct? Pause, of course. Okay, how big is Pluto? I know it's 11 something. What is it in kilometers? 1186. Okay, not 1193. That's fairly close. Right. So back to Mercury. Obviously, I don't want it looking like normal Mercury, so we're going to go. Nope. We want to go to surface colors, custom. So then we can customize it a bit more, make it look a little more. Make it look more interesting. Naming, I don't know what to call it. I guess letter Y, why not? Right, onto colours. What are we thinking? How about mostly a dark surface, but with some light patches? I'm just trying to think like a volcanic sort of dwarf world, to be like a reddy orange sort of shade. Well, that does look very, very dark, like completely dried obsidian lava or something. So we could have a slight mix of colours in there. What are we thinking of that? Or maybe I go black and then a grey on here. No. Yeah, I don't think we can really put red on anywhere else on the object. Yeah, it's too much red. Okay, we could have like a sort of like a deep dark red. Just like a very volcanic sort of world. That's the sort of vibe I want to give with this object here. So it's got some like glowy areas, but very, very dark. Actually, what I want to do as well is hopefully this thing will retain some temperature, then we can get it going pretty hot. So if I give it, and that should already come with an atmosphere. It's Mercury, isn't it? Down here, obviously. Oh no, hasn't got an atmosphere. All right, let's just go with 5 ATM. I want to really get this thing spiced up here. So 5 ATM. Surface, how are we looking? Albedo. Where's albedo? Albedo, I'm going to lower you, so it's going to absorb a lot of light. It's going to be very, very hot here. And then onto, I need to close that and reopen it to access the menu. Okay. Actually, the default atmosphere Mercury came with, actually, it's not looking too bad, but I do want to give it a slight increase. So I think just another sort of dark, sort of reddish, sort of orange shade, I'm thinking. Something like that. So it does look kind of like... I want to say it's given a volcanic vibe, but that's going to vary in everyone's opinions. What do you think? Does that look like a volcanic sort of world to you? Let's maybe make it a little more red there, but yeah, I'm quite happy with the way that's turned out. And then how hot will it go? Can we retain like 200 degrees? I mean, I wouldn't mind it being around 500. But that's a little too much overkill. Maybe something like that. I mean, it is smoking up though, which is not what we want. That's quite a big release of material. Maybe it can't even handle it because it is a dwarf planet after all. Yeah, okay, I'll leave it in its comfortable area then. But we've just created this massive puff of material here, and yeah, since we're in the new update now, it does look a lot better than it used to. So that will just dissolve off. But yeah, okay, I guess I'll just leave it like that then. Is it still? Well, it is still losing material. Okay, I have to really cool her down then. Okay, so no more materials being lost. Okay, so we don't want it being too hot then, because it's only a dwarf planet, isn't it? It hasn't really got much mass to lose. Right, so yeah, there we go. I'm happy with that. I'll leave it the way it is. I guess I'll just call it a volcanic. Give it a bit of a name there. Trail color, I guess we'll go with a really dark red. Something like that. So where is it? Oh, you can see it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you can see all that material still escaping. But yeah, there you go. So there's volcanic. Actually, what we could do to make it look a little more interesting is we could go with city lights, and then put them as a always. Then we could have them as like a red color, so it almost looks like volcanic activity at night time. So stuff like that. So don't imagine them as cities. Imagine them as like volcano stuff or something. Yeah, so imagine them as molten rock. So although it looks like cities, they're actually just loads and loads of volcanoes. There you go. It's just to make it a little more interesting. So yeah, there's volcanic. I think that's a pretty cool one there. Not often I make something like that. So yeah, looking good. That trail color's a little too dark. Let's make it a little brighter. Interface, yes please. Okay, that's fine. Right, awesome stuff. So yeah, volcanic orbiting our brown dwarf. It's quite a far distance from the brown dwarf, but it will get closer on approach. But yeah, if we have a little look on our surface, we have volcanic rock here. Right, so the little land down. Right, where are we? So see the atmosphere color, and that's the star. But there you go. So you can see the brown dwarf off in the distance there. Also, if we speed things up a bit, we should be on an approach to our gas of red now. So let's just let it go. Oh, what's going on with the rings there? Oh, I think there's been a massive problem with the rings. What is going on? You can see there's asteroids shooting everywhere. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, maybe the orbits of the planet were too close. Why has it done that? Oh no. But yeah, we're on our close approach now. Actually, if one of them actually hits us, I mean, it could be possible. We can see them slinging around in the starlight there. Oh my god. Okay, so we're on a close approach now. So the main star is on its sunset, but yeah, we're getting closer and closer. Gas are red there. Maybe I ran the simulation too fast. Actually, no, I'm only running at 50 now, so it shouldn't be that bad. But you can see most of the rings are still intact there. What is going on over there? But yeah, we're on a closer approach. Getting close. We'll get a little quicker, a little faster. I don't want to go too quick. We're at maximum speed by the looks of it. So yeah, closer and closer approaching. Awesome stuff indeed. So I think that's probably our closest approach, and it's going to start breaking away once more. So there's a good view of it. But let's go ahead and investigate what is actually going on around our main star right now. Yes, we've gone past the closest approach. Okay, so what happened over here? Maybe the orbit of Bright 4 upset the rings a bit. Let's just go ahead and do Control Delete and just get rid of all the darn particles. Okay, I guess that didn't work then. I'm guessing that's a little too close, unfortunately. But I wouldn't mind keeping the rings. But what we could do is we just buff this out a bit more and just make it double its orbit size. So how about we go from 2 days to 4 days and then try the rings again? What we could try this time is maybe a smaller set of rings. Instead of 2 to 4 radii, what if we go 2 to 3? Like that. And then click on... you have to click on the object first now. That's quite annoying. You should be able to just click on objects. Right. Then we want to go radius. We'll go to 3. Like that. Then add ring. So a smaller set of rings this time. Actually, what we could do as well is just go back to radius. So if we go 1.25 to 2.5. So there you go. So it's a lot closer to the object itself now. So yeah, how about that? And any other objects that want to break away, they should just collide into the thing. Oh, yeah, that's running better. Okay, cool. So we'll give it a bit of a speed up there. We can see some of them are sort of breaking away, but yeah, that's all right. Okay, I'll roll with that. So they're not like slinged around. Oh, okay, that's quite a big mess. Whoops. Control D. Okay, that didn't work either. Okay, I'll leave that be then. That clearly is not meant to be unfortunately. So yeah, I'll leave the brown dwarf alone now. We've finished that off. But yeah, onto the main star itself. I definitely see the potential for an asteroid belt in between Epsilon and Trantor there. So we just need to check their orbits and see roughly where we can squeeze an asteroid belt in. So it's 139 AU and then 354. Right. So if we go to Steph itself. Right. So they go add ring. I'll go with asteroid belt, please. Okay, so we want AU. So it was, oh, what was it? So this one was 500, no, it's 139, and the other one was about 300. Okay. Oh, no, back on the start. No. Okay, let's check that again. So it's 139. Okay, so I want about 150. And then I want it to go to around 325 AU. So then if I place it around Steph now. Yeah, there you go. So that is perfectly in that gap between Trantor and Epsilon. And what I think I'll do to make it a little more funky as well. If we go to edit mode, what if we rotate the star? Slightly change its tilt. And then add the rings again. Okay, so yeah, that rotated. Okay, cool. So go back to the rings. Asteroid belt. Right, and then we want 150. And then about 300 and... no, 300. Right, and then click Stephenson. Right. And there you go. So it's a tilted ring system. Look at that. We don't really do, so it's sort of like in line with where Epsilon's orbit is. That's what I was hoping to go for there. So if we go ahead and close all that off, what do you think of that? So if we go on, what we'll do as well, we'll go onto flashlight mode. Okay, there you go. So there's a good look at it. So yeah, it's sort of in line with where Epsilon's orbit is, and then it still ends before the orbit of Trantor there. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. So we've got like the enclosed inner solar system area, and then we've got the outer area over here. So I think to finish off, I think we can probably try and sneak in a world of water or something. Let's go over an all ocean world. We don't really usually do ocean worlds. So what are we thinking? Maybe an object that's tinted. So what if I use this old green Earth? I know that was a tinted object, and then just flood it. So where am I thinking? Further out than Ups and D. Can it really support a distance like that? I mean, we can try. Let's see if this green Earth still functions. This is from way back in the day, this object. I don't know if it's still... Does it even still work? Oh, no, that's definitely not on Earth anymore. It doesn't even look like it's had I think it's lost its tint as well, unfortunately. Or has it? Let's see. When I place it in, it should highlight the object green. No, it has lost its tint. Oh, no. That's lost its tint as well. I remember Hyper. Oh, that's a shame. Damn. Maybe objects with tints are just completely bust now. I know, because Hyper was broken. That had a tint. Yes, it looks like a lot of objects that used to have tints are just bust now. That's quite annoying. Because they were some good objects. I know the Party Earth doesn't work anymore. We can try that quickly. Just have a little quick look. But this was, yeah. That's a big shame that that's not really working anymore. I think it lost its Earth texture, if I remember right. We just, yeah. So, I mean, it retains the original what even is this lookalike, but it's lost the Earth texture it had on it. So that's what it looks like now. Yeah, I think it lost it, unfortunately. So that's quite a shame there. But I mean, at least this object still exists. And you can see an Earth height map on there. Or you can see, you can make out South America right now. But when you add water, it just doesn't cooperate, unfortunately. So that's a real shame, isn't it? Right, so that doesn't work. But at least it's still, I mean, it still has the texture on it and stuff. But well, the surface area of Earth. Okay, what are we thinking then? I did want to go for an ocean world. I guess I'll go for just a bog standard, brand new world then. Let's go with a random rocky. Place it a little further out than Ups and D. And have it, yeah. Or we could try the red. No, I don't want to. I think the red dwarf's fine. I'm going to place an object there. So it's another Salby. This is such a common name, isn't it, in the game? So let's, instead of having the B on the end, it's just a Sally. Right, and then all the way down here. Okay, so what are we doing? 0 degrees. You should start warming up. Thank you. Why has it got molten rock? It's cooling down. Okay, we can't have that. So we need to go with atmosphere immediately. Lower the albedo down, of course. Atmospheric mass will go with just 1 ATM. Try and build it like an Earth-like world. Hopefully that will start to warm it up. No, it won't have it. Right. Okay, let's see here. Lower the albedo a bit more. Increase the infrared maybe. There you are. Still getting too cold. Okay, we're going to have to lower your orbit in that case then. So let's give it a considerable increase. So is that still going to get too cold? Come on, it's got a 1 ATM. Surely around that killer star you'd think it would function, right? No, that's not surface temperature I want to do. No, it's still getting too cold. Right, let's go back to motion. about if I half it? Surely now that will start to warm up. No, it's still getting too cold. What do you need to do to warm these things up? Right. Yeah, ever since the surface grids, warming objects up has been a monumental challenge. Still getting too cold. Yeah, you used to be able to just give them ridiculous atmosphere pressures and then they would just always get really hot. I mean, what about now? 128. Even then, it still gets too cold. See, there's definitely something not right. The way the game used to work. There's something definitely changed with surface grids. I mean, that should easily be warm enough. I mean, look, we have ups and D here. This is at 254 degrees. And it's out. It doesn't even have an atmosphere on it because it's a gas giant. Only has 34 albedo. But meanwhile, this object has 6. So it's absorbing a lot more light. And it's colder. Like, what's that all about, game? Really? Why are you doing that? What if I reset its surface? Maybe a fresh up. Start 0 degrees. No, it still won't have it. See, there is something monumentally wrong somewhere with the way Rocky Planet stuff works. They've never been the same since the surface grids. That is really, really weird. Right, what if I try what if I just build off an Earth? Why not? I'll try Earth further out in the original area we wanted. Okay, so how does Earth work? Does Earth retain its temperature? Or does Earth also fall to this weird... So that's warming up. Why is Earth warming up? We gave the other object more atmosphere pressure. See, I don't understand why it does that sometimes. It is really, really weird. I want to reset your surface. What is going on here? Are you going to warm up or cool down? Or 10? Is 5 on that? 0. So it does warm up, but it goes all weird. If I just boost it up a bit. You going to warm up? No? Anything, please? Give it a bit more time. Let it speed up a bit. So that is warming up now. Okay, so that is functional to some extent. I will give you a tad lower. Okay, so that should easily be enough. We're past the other one now. We're in orbit. Yep. Yeah, that should easily be enough to keep the water going on it. And yeah, all I want to simply do now is I want to make it an ocean world. Flood up all those continents. Look at that. It's all flooded away. There you go. So the whole world has just been consumed by water now. Looking good. Okay. That was weird how I saw the continents, but we'd already reset the surface texture, which is quite weird. So let's try that again. Whoa, okay. Clearly doesn't like that. But I did see the remains of where America originally was. But even though we'd already reset the surface. Right, there we go. So we've got our ocean world. I want to go for ocean heavy world. Something like that. A lot of ocean here. The core is deep down. Right, atmosphere colour. I want to go with a nice shade of blue. Something like that. I would like to go back to realistic as well, please. So, yeah, you are. So we've got a nice sort of deep blue sort of atmosphere colour, something like that. And then that's all ocean already. So we don't really need to do anything else in that regard. Clouds, nice white clouds. Liquid water. Make it slightly more blue than normal. Very nice, vibrant blue. Vegetation we don't need to worry about. An interface is already blue. Right. So just a nice fresh ocean. I just call it sea. Why not? So there we go. Fresh ocean world. It's quite cold at the moment, but that will warm up eventually. So it'll be like a nice tropical ocean, hopefully. But yeah, there we go. So we've got sea, and then I think I'll sneak in one more world. Or actually, no. What we'll do is I'm going to take some inspiration from our own solar system and go random moons and random small moons. And we're going to have like a little dwarf planet collection. Quite far out in the system here. We'll go with random small moons as well. Then we'll have a few rogue asteroids. It's not often I use rogue asteroids. So we're going with a nice, bizarre mess of objects here. Now what I want to simply do with these is do the orbits kind of like Sedna is set up. Now if you've seen the orbit of Sedna, I'm sure most of you have, for anyone who's seen my videos before, Sedna's got a very eccentric orbit. So what we're going to do with these is we're going to give these guys also ridiculously eccentric orbits. I'm going to see sort of what we end up with once we make them all like it. So we'll go with 0.6. I think 0.6 would be quite a decent area to put them all up. And also the reason for all these objects being like this, kind of like how Sedna is, I guess the gas giants in the outer system. I remember that red dwarf star pushed them out over millions of years or something like that. I don't know. So 0.5. There you go. Yeah, that's my sort of like little backstory behind it. So yeah, maybe ups and D as well had a bit of an effect on them to cause that. So 0.62, given all random values. So there we go. So we can start to see sort of a solar system-esque appearance now. So 0.8, because it's a really wacky one there. And they're all in different directions as well, which is what I was hoping to see. We'll give some of them a little more normal sort of orbits, so something like that, just not too crazy. This one as well. No, not semi-major, one eccentric. Times 10. Oh, that's a big jump. But yeah, there we go. I'll leave that like that. They don't all have to be like stupidly far away. So there we go. We've got a smaller one here. Probably one of the asteroid ones I selected and placed. Let's give that one a... Oh, that could be quite an extreme one. Yeah, that is quite a bendy one. Back down here, we've got a few more to do. So what are we thinking? Oh, now that's a little too similar to the previous one. I've cut it down a bit more. Actually, we can always lower the orbit size as well, because that will make it just closer in general. So about that. So as long as it's further out than like the end of where ups and D is, that's cool with me. And then this object here as well, same story with you. We can have you as a give it quite an eccentric size, but then just lower the orbit down. Oh, that one cuts in. Yeah, we can have one that cuts in. That's fine. We could have a few that cut in actually. So what about these two here? These ones are too similar. So 0.15 million years orbit time. Wow, so it's a little bizarre. So what I want to do here is kind of like how all the orbits in our system are. I'm going to sort of rotate them around so they're all in sort of doing in the same area. So that's sort of the way it works. So, well, I believe it is. So just going to sort of have them all. We'll have maybe one object going like the other direction. We'll have most of them sort of pointing off in the same way. They've all been affected by the same sort of thing. So all the orbits are going to sort of point in the same sort of way. That's the sort of gist I want to give this sort of system. They've all been affected in similar ways. So all the orbits are sort of pointing out to the left there. I mean, some of them sort of go against that rule. We've got this one down here. It's a little different. But yeah, overall, I think that's pretty cool having that. We don't usually add in like a massive outer solar system of like rogue objects. And then all I need to simply do now is just, I'm not going to customize them. I'll keep them with the base colors. And then interface, I'll just put them all to white. So they're all just far out, just plain objects. So there we go. And then what we could do, actually, I think I could add like a little secret thing in at the end as well. So let's just get these guys all customized up to white. So I need to customize it anyway because of the surface or the interface color glitch that's still around, where if you don't customize them, they all just black out when you next open the system. So we don't want to be seeing that. But yeah, what we'll do is just keep it up. Just almost all of them done now. I think that is all of them. I want to say that's all of them. I think. Okay, there we go. So they're all white now. So back to Stephenson itself in the middle. So that's all fine in the inner solar system. We could add a huge asteroid belt at the outer area as well. That could be quite cool, but I guess that's too much copycat from our own solar system. Now, what I'm going to finish off with, so we're going to go over star, go over an orange giant. I'm going to place you at a ridiculous orbit size. So I'm going to put you there. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to have it sort of like how Planet 9 is opposite to Sedna. I'm going to give you eccentric. There you are. Right. Then we're going to lower. That's way too eccentric for my liking. That's half that until we get something like that. Maybe just a little more. And then orbit size. So it's a 1 million. Let's make it like a 1 million year orbit. 1 million years to orbit Stephenson itself. We'll give you, we'll incline it as well. Sort of going, we want to go, then we need to rotate. So we can have like a retrograde sort of thing as well. And then if there you go. So it's sort of down there, just in the middle of nowhere. So it's quite a distant start. I mean, yeah, 1 million years, orbital period. How much is that in light? So 0.3 light year gaps. Well, that's quite a considerable distance. So all the way over here. Now, right now it's just a normal star. But what I'm going to do is we're going to do this first time ever. We're going to have a cold star in a system. And that sort of leads us on to the next system I'm going to be making. Cold star. So that is just chilling on the edges of existence, all the way over here. I guess we can give it a fancy colour as well. So I'm thinking blue. I mean, cold. I'd associate that with like a light blue or something. So cold star. So that's Arcturus, just chilling on the edges of the system, just in the dark. Very sort of dark blue trail. What we're thinking, something like that. Maybe a little more. It's got to sort of match it there. Cold star, everybody. So we'll be seeing that in the future. But there you go. So that is, obviously it's not releasing any light, is it? So it's very, very dim. Let's see if we can spot it from the main sort of areas in the system. So we'll head back to the C over here. We will disable all of the orbits. We'll leave the trails on. Pause. Now, where exactly is? It's all the way over there. That looks pretty invisible to me. So we'll just land on the top of the ocean here. Look up. Now, get your eyes peeled. Where exactly? I know it is visible. The label's off. You can just see it. It looks like it's part of the background, to be honest. You wouldn't know it was there if you, I mean, unless you got an ultra-trained eye and you can tell that's slightly bluer than the rest of the stars in the background. But, I mean, I'm sure most of us would never spot that just chilling there. I mean, if you looked at it. I mean, actually, no, I reckon you could, I reckon if you just looked carefully, you probably could see that blue just chilling in there if you look deep enough. But it is there on the edges of everything. So that's sort of like the nemesis star for this system. So what do you guys think of that? So that's chilling out here. But yeah, there's our full system in detail there. So what do you think of that? So we've got a nice asteroid belt snuck in there as well, in sort of separating the inner and outer areas. And we've got a huge, like, almost like our far out asteroid belt. It was the Kuiper belt. We've sort of got like a little mini sort of version of that of all the planet orbits in opposite directions. And then we've sort of got, pretend this object here is Sedna, for instance. We've got like the planet 9 over here on opposite sort of ends of the system. So yeah, all the way over here with Arcturus. That blue does look good. Well, it's more of like sort of like an indigo-y purple almost. But yeah, you are. There is Arcturus. So yeah, that'll be the next system we build things from now. So let's go ahead and give the system a save, of course. Get that all refreshed in there. Save and replace. Thank you very much. Right, now we'll get a lineup as we finish up today's system. So actually, quickly looking at that. Cold star. It showed its temperature gauge, but when you open it, there's a temperature there, 3,900, but when you open it, the temperature gauge isn't there anymore. Huh, interesting. Right, but let's go ahead and... I wonder if the temperature actually affects the colour of it in any way, but... Right, now, full lineup of our system. Let's get chart mode enabled. Here we go. Right, so we got, obviously, Stephenson, the largest thing ever. And all the way down here, we've obviously got our cold star. That does look very bizarre having it. First time we've ever used one. Then we've got the enormous Epsilon here that demolishes everything else in size. Then we have Upson D. EBLM, which is one of the smallest red dwarfs. We've got our brown dwarf in red. Then we've got our tidally locked worlds from part 1 and part 2 of this system. Then we have the Kepler 22b. So we have a second ocean world in here as well. I forgot we added that. Bright 4, looking a little better than it was earlier. Gas dwarf there. Idel, this one, it's a frozen up world, isn't it? I can't remember. Maybe, did it change between episodes because of the updates? I'm not sure. I think that's the way I intended it to be. Then we've got Korot 7b here. The very, very tidally locked, hot and spicy world here. We've got a colony on it as well. Pretty cool indeed. Then we have Gold. Nice, good old yellow city lights on that with a nice, beautiful looking yellowy gold atmosphere on it. Then we have C, which is the Earth. Pretty much a complete Earth clone, just filled up with water. We have Trantor, looking as awesome as always. Sulfur gas dwarf. There's Akam here. That's probably one of the random ones. And they've got all the dwarf planets we spawned in here as well, mixed in. We've got, what even is this here? Another Ideal. So these are all the dwarf planets on the edges of the system. So there's not really much going on here. Aura packs. We have red here. That was a Venus-like Titan world. Then we have Volcanic, sorry. That's what we made today. Very happy with the way that one turned out. We had the Iris from the last episode. Then onto the really small guys at the bottom here. These are all of the ones on the just edges of the system. And then all the way to the little asteroids at the very bottom there. So yeah, there it is. What do you guys think of that then? I think that's a pretty cool little way to finish off this system. So yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed it as well. And of course, stay tuned for the system around the cold star coming soon. Because yeah, he's waiting. We'll have to we could probably use him as our template for the next system as well, actually. But yeah, there is that. So the Stephenson around, or Stephenson 218, or Stephenson, however you want to say it. Hopefully you all enjoyed my system, or hopefully you enjoyed watching me build my system around it. I think this was a pretty cool one as well. I think I've really been knocking it out of the park with some of these systems personally. But obviously, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Feedback, improvements, anything? Let me know down below in the comments. I'm interested to hear your feedback. And yeah, if that all's said and done, guys, stay tuned for the Cold Star. Make sure to also like and subscribe. Helps on the journey to 19,000 subscribers. Let's also see if we can get 40 likes on today's video, guys. And yeah, if that all's said and done, make sure you all stay safe out there. Have a great day, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.